officer for almost 10 years in a mid-sized city in Pennsylvania. Most nights it's the usual noise complaints, drunk driving, the occasional domestic call, but there's one night that still messes with my head. It was the only time I ever thought about quitting. It was a slow Tuesday night when dispatch sent me to an apartment building downtown. A neighbor had called in, saying they heard crying coming from apartment 2B. Said it sounded like a woman sobbing for hours. They thought someone might be hurt or worse. When I got there, the hallway lights were flickering like something out of a horror movie. I knocked on the door. No answer. The crying had stopped. I radioed in, then knocked louder. Still nothing. The building manager came up and unlocked it for me. The apartment was cold. I don't mean AC running cold. I mean winter air in your lungs cold. Dust everywhere, furniture still covered in sheets. It looks like nobody had lived there in months. There, in the middle of the living room, was a rocking chair, rocking. And beside it, an old tape recorder, looping the sound of a woman sobbing. I stood there, heart pounding. Then I saw it, on the far wall, scratched deep into the paint. I never stopped crying. You just stopped listening. I got out of there. Ran, actually. Later, I found out the last tenant was a woman who died in that apartment. Suicide. No one ever turned in the keys, and the building manager swore on his life that that tape recorder was never there before. I still get calls to that building sometimes. I don't go. I always pass it off to the rookies. Maybe that makes me a coward, but I'm telling you now, if you ever hear crying behind a locked door, pray it's someone alive. I used to be a deputy in a small rural county in Kentucky, middle of nowhere. I'd respond to everything from cow thefts to drug busts, but there was one call that came in right before my shift ended, one that never let me sleep right again. An elderly woman called about a strange noise coming from the basement of her neighbor's house. The neighbor had passed away 3 months earlier. House was empty, supposedly. I drove out to Maple Hollow around 1:30 a.m. Whole road was shrouded in mist. When I arrived, the house was dark, overgrown, no sign of recent entry. But then I heard it. 3 loud thumps from under the house. Then a dragging sound. I radioed for backup, but they were over 20 minutes out. Against my better judgment, I went in. The house smelled like mold and rot. I found the basement door. It was open. I shined my flashlight down into the darkness and called out. Nothing. Step by step, I went down. Then my light caught something. A man. Naked. Pale as death, crouched into the corner facing the wall. I shouted, hand on my sidearm. No response. I called again. He moved, just a slight twitch. Then he began whispering. I was locked in. I was locked in. I was locked in. I got the hell out. By the time backup arrived, he was gone. No footprints. No sign anyone had been down there. The autopsy records of the old man that lived there. Turns out he had a younger brother, mentally unstable, went missing around 20 years ago. Never found. I still think about that whisperer. The way his voice sounded like it came from under the earth. Some things you shouldn't dig up. Some doors should stay closed. I worked dispatch before I even wore the badge. I know the radio like the back of my hand, so when I finally made it out on patrol, I never thought I'd be on the other end of a dead signal. My partner and I were working the night shift. We got a call about an abandoned vehicle by a remote stretch of highway. When we got there, sure enough, the car was empty, still running. The doors were still open, no signs of anyone. We ran the plate and came back to an off-duty officer, Officer Brandt, Unit 17. We radioed it in. Dispatch tried to reach him. No answer. We found his radio in the front seat. Mike keyed, like he had tried to call for help mid-sentence. All it caught was a low static hum and something else, a whisper. We checked the nearby woods. That's when we saw it. A figure standing just past the tree line, back turned, motionless. We shouted. No response. We approached, weapons drawn. The figure stepped deeper into the woods, slow, deliberate, like it wanted us to follow. We did. 10 minutes in, we found Brandt's badge. Just the badge. Still warm, still smeared with blood. The figure was gone. 2 days later, Unit 17 was found on fire in a field 12 miles away. No sign of Brandt. And every so often, someone on patrol hears his call sign over the radio.
Unit 17, requesting backup. It's in the trees.
But that frequency was deactivated the day he went missing. Sometimes I wonder if Brandt got taken or if he just became a part of whatever's out there. Either way, if you ever hear a voice on a dead channel, don't ever answer it.